Soomla University. Get smart, get open source.
Hi, welcome to Soomla's Getting Started tutorials. In this video, we'll integrate Soomla's unity3d-store into a very simple app that has a no ads button. We'll see what you need to do in order for the no ads button to start a purchase process through Google Play. And then we'll run our simple app on an Android device. So I already went ahead and created the basics for the sample project. We've got our project in the Unity editor and a C# script that derives from mono behavior. Let's take a look at it. Here I implemented all the necessary mono behavior functions like awake, update, and start. And this is also where we have the code for the UI, which is basically just the no ads button. So first of all, we have to get Soomla's unity3d store. We download that from the GitHub page down here. When I double click on it, it'll import all the necessary files into our project. Okay, great. So we see that Soomla and the plugins have all been integrated into our project. Now we need to make sure that the store events and core events prefabs are in our scene, which they are not, you can see here. So we go to prefabs and we drag these prefabs into our project. Okay, now we need to go to Window, Soomla, Edit Settings, and we have to change the Soomla secret, which is an encryption secret that will be used to secure your data. I'm just using a generated random key. Let's also check the debug messages. This will display more detailed log messages in the Android Logcat when we run the built APK. Now for the billing provider, we're going to choose the default, which is Google Play. And we're going to have to provide a Google Play public key, which you can find on Google Play Developer Console when you create your app. For now, we'll just enter a random string because it doesn't matter. We're on testing mode. We're going to want to check this box because we're going to use test purchases. And remember to choose both of these secrets wisely because you can't change them after you launch your game. So we just finished integrating Soomla's unity3d store into our app, and now we're ready to create our version of iStore assets, which defines our game's economy. In our simple demo app, we'll only have one product, which is the no ads feature. Once we're done with the iStore assets, we'll initialize the Soomla SDK, we'll create the functionality for our no ads button, and finally we'll be able to run and test our app on a device. We must implement all of the iStore assets functions, even if we just leave them blank. In get non-consumable items, we're going to return the no ads product. Now we'll define that product. The product ID has to exactly match how it's defined in the Google Play Developer Console, but right now we're in testing mode, so we're just going to use Android's in-app billing test product ID. So that's the name, and we need the description, the item ID. This is different than the product ID. And we need the purchase type. Once we're done with this, we can go ahead and initialize Soomla Store. So in example window, we go to the start function. And here's where we initialize our version of iStore assets. Now we add a list of non-consumable items, which you'll see in a moment why we need it. So in the event that the Soomla store is initialized, we'll want to handle the event with additional behavior to the default behavior already implemented by Soomla. So we're going to add store events on Soomla store initialized. Now make sure you put this line above the Soomla store initialization so that the event can actually be handled. I'm making a call to store info just for the simplicity of the video, but in general you should try to avoid that because store info methods make native calls to the Android code and these calls are more expensive. So the solution to that is to cache the data you use frequently in the Unity app. You can see how to do that if you take a look at our Muffin Rush example, specifically in the class called example local store info. Okay, so now that we have the Unity 3D store integrated and ready, we need to make our No Ads button actually do something. So in the main screen function, we're going to implement this part. So when the user clicks on the button, we want him to be redirected to Google Play to make his purchase. Okay, great. Now we're ready to run the app. So now we go back to the Unity editor. We go to File, Build Settings. We choose Android and Development Build, which is already checked. First, you want to go to Player Settings and make sure that your bundle identifier is the same as the one you have in Google Play Developer Console. And now we can switch platform. Make sure the little circle at the bottom disappears before you actually build. Otherwise, you'll have problems. Okay, now we can build. When it's done, I'll run the app from the command line using Android's ADB tool. So we see the app starting. Okay, let's test our No Ads button. Great, now the reason it says Visa Fake is because we're using Android test purchases for our simple demo app. But when you deploy your game, you'll be using real product IDs and your users will see their actual payment method and not just a fake credit card. Okay guys, thanks for watching. If you'd like to contribute, you can find our open source project for various platforms on github.com/Soomla.